Hello YouTube, Luigi here. As you can see, we're going to open something up. I'm going to open it with my CRKT Swindle. Today's EDC light duty gentleman's folder IKBS bearings, designed by Ken Onion. First production run, wicked sharp, and that's that. Okay, we all know this box. You know, the other day I'm watching a knife review, and somebody actually called this box the Cricket. I've never heard that before. You can clearly see where it comes from, but I was just wondering how widespread that was, the Cricket. All right, let's open up the CRKT Columbia River Knife and Tool. I love the end tool thing on the end. It reminds me of Merrill Lynch, Pierce Fenner, and Smith. And now you know how old I am. All right, first time unboxing. You know, even though this is my, obviously you saw me open it, first time holding this knife. I've been studying this one for quite a while. And you'll recognize this as the CRKT Endorser. I heard another reviewer call it the Enforcer. Oh, come on, people. We can do better. All right. Here we go. Why did I buy this knife? I was attracted to it because of the cool colors on the handle. I'm just into that. I was attracted to it for its finger grooves, its long handle. I knew I could get all fingers on it. Hand feel is important to me. This knife comes in black, but I thought it was equally handsome in satin. And even though it was a black oxide finish, I worry about them scuffing. So let's look at the outside first. It's got a pocket clip that you cannot move. It is tip down, right side only. Black clip. It's a liner lock. There's the torsion bar for the CRKT Outburst technology. There's one trade name. And it's got this, you have to depress this button. You get better focus here. Focus, please. There. You have to depress this button before you push it out. So it's got the Outburst technology plus this fire-safe technology. So now we got two proprietary trade names in one knife. They say that takes a minute to get used to. I'm not worried about it. Now, what's unusual here, and I was well aware of this, and we'll talk about it after I get to see how it feels in my hand, is that the liners extend beyond the sculpted G10 scales. That's a potential hotspot, and we'll talk about that. I was aware of this before I bought it, but I bought it anyway. Why? Because the colors are cool, I like the finger grooves, and I think it's well designed. Okay, I'm going to try to push down and push out. Well, it didn't really go all the way, did it? New knife, stiff. Really nice blade, huh? CRKT. What does it say on the other side? Endorser 1105. That's got to be the model number. Okay, let's try that again. It closes without having... It is stiff. Even on the close, it was stiff, and that's good. I like a new knife and expect a new knife to be stiff so it's got some break in. When they come too, there, that was fine. When they come too loose, you know, they might eventually, they're only going to get looser. Let me see how it feels. The finger grooves are working well for me. I get all four fingers on it. It's got jimping that works up here. That feels good. Now, I want to call this knife a gentleman's folder and light EDC tasks. Now, why do I say that? It's exactly because of these potential hotspots. And let's be honest. In a normal day, you know, we're not chopping down trees. We're not skinning buffalo. Most of us will open a box or two, an envelope or two, peel an apple or two, and we're not really bearing down. And that's why I knew these potential hotspots were not going to bother me. But if your job is such where you spend the entire day in a shipping receiving department slicing open boxes and cutting plastic strapping, some of them quite difficult to cut. You spend the day bearing down on your knife. This is not the knife for that job. It simply isn't the knife for that job, because these things, if you're bearing down, you're going to feel these liners sticking beyond the scales. You really are. You're going to feel them up here. You're going to feel them down here. You know, so and the more you bear down, the more you're going to feel it. So not for heavy, hard use, not for sustained hard use. In the course of one day, if you have one hard use cutting task, you're going to be fine. And that's why the so-called issue with the hot spots is kind of a non-issue unless you're bearing down with sustained heavy work for a prolonged period of time. Now, I've heard this called a drop point, but my criteria, or the way I learned it, was if it comes down in a straight line, it's been clipped, and therefore it's a clip point. So, and then some might even say this is approaching a spear point. I don't really know. I get confused on these things. We have an HCR13 MOV blade, and I think we have a really nicely designed knife here. And I do think it looks just as handsome with the satin, with this color scheme, than anything, than the black. Okay, it's got a bit of a palm swell here. That's also part of its ergonomics. You know, I don't really feel, I'm not aware of the so-called hot spots. I don't even feel them in this grip. I'm not skinning a buffalo or anything. So, but, you know, if you're in one of those jobs where you have sustained heavy use, you know, then you need a knife with some blade on it. This is my Buck Vantage Select. I've always thought this is a heavy-duty EDC because it's rugged. Another one is this Enlon EL04. Look at the thickness. This is a 4mm blade, you know? Or this one, the Ganzo G704. Look at the thickness on this blade. This might be the one that's 4mm. So these blades have thickness, and they have breadth, and they have big grips, solid, secure. If you're doing that kind of work, the CRKT Endorser is not the tool for that day, but I think it's a nice knife, and I'm happy with it so far. It was an unboxing, first impressions. Okay, guys. Oh, I want to say this. I always try to give a shout out to the Endorser. This was designed by Matthew Lurch, okay, for CRKT, and it won the Best Buy of the Year at the Blade Show, and I think that might have been 2013. 2012. Okay, that's all I got. God bless you. I love you all. Take good care. Bye.